Good morning, children. Again, we are going to continue chapter 11, that is foreign trade. Today, in this lecture, we will study about the documents that is used in import trade. Import trade means we are purchasing goods from foreign country. Now, what are the documents which are required in import trade? The following documents are used in import trade, that is indent, bill of lading, letter of credit, bill of entry, bill of sight, dock challan, and last one is dock warrant. So starting with the first document that is used in import trade means we have to purchase good from foreign country. Now, first of all, to purchase thing from any place, we have to make an inquiry about that. In inland trade also we have studied, we have to make an inquiry about that particular product. So, therefore, in import trade also, there is an inquiry, or we can say that an official order is sent by the importer to the exporter, placed by the importer with the to the exporter for the supply of certain goods. For example, if I am the importer, I will place an indent to the exporter, means I am placing an order to the exporter. Now, an indent should contain following information, that is quantity of goods that is to be imported, price and quality of the goods, method of forwarding the goods, means which method they are forwarding, nature of packaging, how the goods are packaged, then mode of payment and price to be charged. These things should be mentioned in the indent. After that, next document which is required is known as bill of lading. Bill of lading, you can say it is a list giving details of the goods carrying on a ship, and it is an acknowledgement of receipt of goods on board of the ship. Now, after that, when goods are ordered, after that it has to be loaded on the ship. When it goes to the ship, or it is carried, or it is to be transported, from where it is to be transported, it is prepared. For example, it has to be transported through ship, therefore it is prepared. This bill of lading is prepared by the ship owner or the master of the ship, and he prepares only the list of the things which is going to be carried on the ship. It contains the terms and condition on which goods are to be taken to the port of destination. After that, after a slip from the ship owner, means the ship owner has seen all the things and he has make a list of the things which he has loaded. Soon the exporter also send the copy of that to the importer, so the importer knows that whichever things are loaded on the ship. Therefore, you can say that the exporter sends one copy of this document to the importer, enabling him to clear the goods from the ship, which is made by the ship owner. Next is letter of credit. Now, for example, what we can say that whenever we are doing foreign trade, means I am doing trade from the other country. So we can say that in some cases the producer and the buyer both are not known to each other. So how can they trust each other? For example, if I have to buy things, if the seller, how the seller will send the thing, because both of them don't know each other. If the seller will think that if I will send my thing, how I will get my payment, or the buyer will think if I will send the money, whether I will get my product. Therefore, in this case, we can say that a letter of credit is made by the importer to the exporter, which is known as LC, and it is an undertaking or issue undertaking by the issuer, usually importer bank, or you can say that the importer makes the letter of credit, that the bills of exchange drawn by the foreign dealer on the importer will be on guaranteeing document, which is letter of credit. Also you can say it is a letter from a bank guaranteeing that a buyer payment to a seller will be received on time and for the correct amount. Means if the buyer want to give money to the seller, he will go to the bank, he will make a document which will show that whenever he will get the product, and the exporter will show that letter of credit to the bank, he will get a specific amount. Therefore, through this document, the importer establishes a credit in favor of the exporter at a bank. The moment the exporter receives the letter of credit, he presents. At the moment when the exporter will receive the letter of credit, he will go to the bank, he will show the letter of credit, and the bank will give the specified amount. Next is bill of entry. Bill of entry, again, it is a legal document, you can say. It is a legal document which is filed or which is filled by custom department by an importer. This is a form supplied by the custom office to the importer and is to be filed in triplicate. Now, this bill of entry is supplied by the is given by the custom office to the importer. Now importer, he has to purchase things from foreign country, so he will go to the custom department, he will give the bill of entry and he will categorize the goods, which type of goods are being purchased, on which no charge is there, custom duty does not charge anything on them. Then some goods are for home consumption, and third one is bonded good means that type of goods on which custom duty has to be paid, but still it is not paid. That is why it has been kept in the warehouse, or you can say warehouse, that is uh, a place where things are stored. So custom duty, what do? They categorize the goods into three categories. Which type of goods has to be imported, whether the goods are free goods, whether goods are for home consumption, or last one you can say whether the goods are bonded goods. Now on the bill of entry, what things has to be mentioned? Name and address of the importer, name of the ship, package number, marks on the package, description of goods, quantity and value of goods, name, address and country of the exporter, and port of destination. After that, next document is bill of site. What happens when the clearing agent of the importer, now the person who is going to take things from the port, or you can say the clearing agent, if he does not have a full details regarding the goods in the bill of entry, now bill of entry which was made by the importer and which was given by the custom department, now the person, he is not having proper knowledge that what things has to be taken. So what he will do, he will facts in the bill of site. At the moment only he will make that this thing he has received, and he will make bill of site. The clearing agent makes a declaration that to the best of his knowledge the goods imported are the same as are entered in the bill of site. Means bill of site is the proof that this person has taken this much things from the destination. Therefore, you can say that bill of sale is, you can say that because of improper knowledge of the importer or the clearing agent, he makes a bill of sale, means it is a proof that he has taken this much product. After that, dock challan, the importer or clearing agent, after that, he has to fill up one form that is known as dock challan. Means all the payment of dock has been paid. All the payment of, or you can say document which act as a proof of payment of dock charges, and this document is issued by dock authorities to the imported country, to the importer. Now, after only all the dock charges are paid, then only the importer will get the things. Means dock charges are paid, means all the custom formalities have been done. Imported goods cannot be delivered until this charge has been not paid. After that, last document is dock warrant. In bill of entry, I have told you bonded goods. Bonded goods, that is, means on that custom duty has to be charged, but yet it is not paid. Then dock warrant. This document is issued by the warehouse keepers to the person depositing goods with him. Who is depositing? Dock warrant is issued by, you can say, is issued by the warehouse. So these are the documents which is used in import trade. In next lecture, we will study about the documents used in export trade and WTO. Thank you.